It's the Cable
I'm feeling much better today. I'm gonna take this frog. I haven't been talking about this pack at all, but I'm gonna take this fucking frog. Mox Diamond, totally serviceable pack one, pick one. I really like frog though. I like frog a lot. I'm gonna second pick Doomsday. There's a really good chance it wheels. You could take Mystical Tutor and just wheel the Doomsday. Actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take the Mystical Tutor. That sounded better. When I said it out loud, that sounded like a better thing to do. So Broadside Bombardiers should not be passed. It should not be like a fourth pick card. I think it's like maybe the literal best non-powered card in the cube, you know. I'm going to take Thoughtseize, though, because we're in a very specific direction here. And it's not red. What do I plan to do after my 365 days of streaming? So the main differences between the 365 and post are I'll figure out a time to do a honeymoon. And that's about it. I'm gonna still be streaming Cube and stuff. Still gonna be doing my job and all that. I'm gonna take this Oculus. I think it plays pretty well with Frog. Ooh, a little Inquisition action. Another 365? Yeah. Back to back, baby. Some Twitch streamers have done that, right? The 2-year. What's the name of that guy that did a bunch of pinball streams? He did 2 years once. Yeah, the Lantern's tempting, but Snuff Out being a free spell, so good. Am I liking the EOE cards in Cube so far? Yes. Yeah, I think they're sweet. Yeah, 730 is truly crazy. There's been a few times this this stream cycle that I've been like, I could really use a fucking day off right now. Hey, Yawgmoth 1234, thanks for the sub, thanks for 76 months there. How many subs for another 65? Jesus Christ. Don't ask me that. The stream from bed was cozy. You like that? How random is the Berserk archetype inclusion? Not that random. It's been in the cube before, and the last time it was around, I got a solid number of trophies out of it. And now they're adding it when there's also like Vivi and a couple of other like cross archetypes with it. I think it's a cool include. I'm a fan. Cube is better with the sub with the 36 months there, the 3 years. Cube says there's no MTG like Caleb D MTG. So grab your pick and double click. Hey, it's Corey Dudd. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the 35 months there. Holy shit, that's Elite Palace Jailer, huh? So the Doomsday did not wheel. A real jerk took my Doomsday. That's alright. That's okay, he said copiumingly. I mean, we don't currently have any blue-black duels. Yeah, big Propagandy fan. I'm going to scoop that Archon. There's a very reasonable chance that we end up doing Reanimator stuff. Echo's pretty sick with the Psychic Frog. I think I want Otawar or Barrogoyf here, though. I'm going to take the Barrogoyf. Salty Rutabaga is calling it Dumbsday. Hey, now. Hey, now. Doomsday used to be considered like one of the more difficult cards to play in Magic before they printed Oracle. Looking at that Zagoth Triome. Hard to take a Zagoth Triome over a fucking Strip Mine, though, isn't it? Yeah, Show of Tell, Emperor Bones, both very reasonable. Right now, our mana base needs a little bit of tender loving care, though. We're gonna take this Darkslick Shores. Oh shit, what up? Mr. Witless with the sub with the 57 months saying, sup nerds. Hey. Hey. No, I'm a nerd. That's accurate. Today I played some Clank Legacy. We're wrapping up our campaign. I think we only have like 3 sessions left. And I'm very proud with how well I'm doing. I've got to be like absolutely insufferable. My friends are saints for for putting up with me. I'm gonna take this Prismatic Vista, a little bit more attention to the mana base. Grief, Remand, both excellent cards. Right now, we just like need to make sure that we can cast our spells, though. What did I think of Clank Legacy? I've been really enjoying it. Like I said, we only have like three sessions left. Yeah, we do a round of it, and then we play a little bit of it's like a normal Clank session with like some changing rule sets and items and stuff. And then like a little bit of a narrative that's very like humor based. You scored 0 4 times. I've also scored 0, but just once. It certainly happens. We have like almost no removal. I think I need this Blood Chief's Thirst. Typically, I value Singing to Stupor a little higher, but I've not played Paranoia. Your wife bought you Clank years ago, but because of being parents, you haven't had time to play at all. Like actual base Clank. So Clank is a very high variance deck builder that's combined with a board. So the way that it differentiates itself from other deck builders, most deck builders have like Fight and Buy as the two main resources, right? Clank adds movement as like a third like main resource, and that'll just show up on the cards that you can like buy and add to your deck and stuff. And those help you move around the board to like collect resources that are scattered around. It's as though, so like imagine you're playing like a regular deck builder, and you were like, I wish this game was also Talisman. Bam! You got yourself Clank Legacy. You got yourself Clank. Not Clank Legacy, but just like regular Clank. A little grief action. Clank is very fun. It's I think it's got like the right amount of variance. A lot of deck builders, like someone starts snowballing early and then they just like crush. And Clank has a lot of snowballing too, but the variance is nice. So like is that a Black Lotus right there? That's a Black Lotus right there. Passing Entomb, passing Grizzlebrand. That's okay. That's all right. Looking at Fallen Shinobi, Life, Death, and Ponder here. Yeah, we could essentially, like, ditch the reanimation plan, but I think I'd dig it, even if we only have a little bit. Because we have the Mystical Tutor that can grab it, you know? It's a little bit more consistent than it looks. Clank in Space. Yeah, I haven't played base Clank, but I do own Clank in Space. I've played it a lot. It's a lot of fun. Clank in Space, Clank Catacombs, and Clank Legacy are the three that I've played. And I'd, you know, recommend them all. Not for everybody, but, you know, not every game has to be for everybody. Well, we're seeing all the reanimation shit in the third pack. How are we doing on ways of bidding things? Just thinking about Bitter Triumph versus Animate Dead here. I don't think we're going to have the blue count for Force of Negation. Is it like just Frog to bin stuff? Oh shit, what up? Hey, B-Dob, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 68 months, and Tony.0, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 4 months there. Can also Thoughtseize ourselves, that's true. I could certainly see that coming up here. The Grief makes Animate Dead a little bit better, because then, like, you've got another thing, self-binning. Oh well, huh? Odawara might be worse than a island with Days in the deck. Worth thinking about. Have any of y'all ever played So Clover? It's a much shorter game, and it's like pretty good to play with normies. Or people that don't play a lot of board games. Basically, you get randomed a set of like 4-sided clues that you put down in a 4x4 square that makes up the clover, right? And then you handwrite in clues that will guide the guessers to putting the two words together, right? So one clue that I was really proud of We usually play a round or two, like once we're done playing Clank. One clue that I was particularly proud of today, I had alcohol and doe, like a deer, a female deer, together. And I was like really tanking on like what could pair a deer with alcohol. And then I put in Homer, I was like chuckling to myself with my cleverness, you know, because Homer says doe all the time, you know, doe. And they did in fact get it. Well, let's grab that Entomb, huh? It'd be nice to have, like Grizzlebrand, it'd be nice to have a premium reanimation target, but Entomb is something we can, Mystical Tutor can get Entomb, we can also get the Exhume, right? Just increases our consistency here a lot. Where they didn't get it? They did get it. They did get it. Clover's a top 3 party game. Oh, I can see that for sure, yeah. There were people, like, literally playing it at my wedding. You've played hundreds of rounds of Clover, replaced codenames for you? Yeah, that's accurate for me too, Hyphen. I haven't played codenames since I first played Clover. Yeah, it happens, Woodard, it happens. Not the end of the world, huh? There'll always be another season. There'll always be another RCQ at some point. My group is smart. They're pretty smart, yeah. Not smart enough to beat me in Clank, but they're pretty clever. As we were wrapping up this this current session, I was like, I just want to tell y'all, I really enjoy your company. Thanks for coming over. Y'all are tremendously good sports. And my wife cuts in and she's like, okay. Let's wrap this up. Yeah, I'm doing much better infested, thank you. How many decoy tiles are we putting in? Not enough right now. Hyphen. We've only been doing 1. I think we're gonna do 2 next time. I think at this point, so like we did 2 quick rounds, and in the first round we only had 1 person. We only had 1 guess that went awry, and then the second round we all nailed it on the first try. So like next time we're gonna do 2 tiles for sure, for sure. I think Ottawara is still worth playing even with the days, but I'll leave the Wasteland out. High praise because you love Codenames but haven't heard of Clank. Oh yeah, we were comparing So Clover to Codenames, JC Foxbox. Those two are both like way more party games, whereas Clank is more of like a sit down, play this like board game or / deck builder for a while. Was not trying to compare Clank and Codenames. I was just saying that we played So Clover a bit afterwards. Yeah, we have to play the extra island. I'm sorry, Ottawara. Hell yeah, Amazonian. Pathways and stuff that you did. It's good. It's really good. Betrayal. Betrayal's a fun one. What's that, I always forget its name. Opponent's only on 3 cards over there. This Thoughtseize could be real juicy, huh? What's the name of that board game where you're trying to do a bunch of like A... The way you win is with like an A plus B combo. It's like add this card and this card, and the deck's like full of them, right? And you start with 2 cards and you draw 1 per turn and then discard a card or play a card or whatever. Flux, that's the one. If people like leave in the middle of a game of Flux, it does not matter at all. That is just like not even a little bit. Hey, Blitzkrieg 4531. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for 89 months there. I was playing Flux in between rounds at a Grand Prix once, and it's just like me and like 2 other people, right? And we're having a miserable time because Flux isn't a very good game. And Kibler walks by and he sees us playing and he's like, "Can I sit in?" Like, absolutely, fucking get in here. More the merrier, whatever. And the way Flux is, if you've never played before, there's a lot of A plus B combos, so it's a lot of like Splinter Twin situation that just like wins the game on the spot. This is the victory game. I guess Twin is like the wrong analogy because people can interact with that. It's more like Vault Key combos. And then there's a bunch of like Storm combo stuff, like draw a bunch of cards, and there's a bunch of like Stacks Prison stuff. Like, people can't do anything. It's like a deck full of like Mind's Desires and Trinispheres that everybody's drawing from, and Vault Keys. It's not good. It's not a good game. Is what I'm getting at. So Kibler sits down to play with us, and he's like game. He's like learning. He's like figuring out the mechanics and stuff. He's not having a good time because again, it's Flux. It's not a very well made game. It's not designed to be fun. And he's playing with us, and PV is passing, and he sees us all playing, and he's like, "Oh, what game is this?" He's like all interested. And we explain what the game is, and he's like, "Can I play?" And we're like, "Absolutely, come on, more the merrier." And he sits down and he starts playing, and he plays a few rounds, and he's like, "Can I just leave?" And we're like, "No problem. Go ahead, PV. Live your best life. You are not imprisoned in this game of Flux. You can do whatever you like. There's a whole Grand Prix of people. Many of them might be playing better games than Flux. Who knows?" And so he's like, "Oh, cool." And he just leaves. And Kibler sits there like doggedly determined to play out the end of this miserable fucking game. 2 different types of players right there. Exactly, Kino Wolf, yeah. At least it's not Munchkin. I think that's about all you can say about Flux. I think I like Munchkin better. It's got a little bit more, like, flavor nonsense going on. Ooh, do I want that? I don't want that. Exactly. At least it's not Cards Against Humanity. Well, that's interesting. They could have hardcast the Fallen Shinobi and chose not to there. What is this, standard? What is this shit? Cutting down a Deep Cavern Bat? Cut down, rotated, get with the times, old man. Look, I've just cut down a shitload of Deep Cavern Bats in standard. That's all I know. You haven't heard Anti-Flag in years? So good. Yeah, just shame about one of them being a fucking huge rapist. But otherwise, yeah. God. I'm good on the rest of the band for just being like, nope, not dealing with that. Done with this. It's not worth it. Whatever we were doing it's not what we were doing. Cards Against Humanity is so weird. You play it once and it's great. After that, it's just the tip. Yeah, I remember. So we played it together. I had a board game group when I was living in Chicago, and we played Cards Against Humanity, and it was like pretty fun. But it certainly got like old quickly. I think we only played it like one night or whatever, and it didn't like last us the whole night or anything. Raunchy apples to apples, right? Genius. And then I played at a house party in St. Louis, and they like insisted on using the like a home printed version, like proxies. And my buddy that I'd come with was like, I have the actual game in the trunk of my car. It'll be a lot easier to shuffle and stuff. Because they just had like a stack of like paper cutouts in a stack, right? And they're like, no, this is just as good. And we're like, I don't think it's just as good. That's like why they sell the game. And then the people that we were playing with always voted for whatever the last thing was. Because they had like, I don't know. maybe they had a hard time remembering the previous ones, or I don't want to be too mean here. It wasn't the best game, we'll just put it that way. I was like, I'm sensing a pattern here. Yeah, the old recency bias going on. Yeah, right? I think that's a valid criticism, Wax Papers. The game tries to make, like, every single individual card be funny. Like, it's its own punchline. Which removes a lot of the gameplay of it, huh? Have I read anything by Madison native ML Wang? The fuck? The Sword of Kaigen. Brighthaven? I have not. No, not at all. Do you recommend her? Exhume seems sus in the Reanimator mirror. It'll be good. Distrust. Just read it for a book club. Very good. Very cool. You think Apples to Apples is better than Cards Against Humanity? Y'all, can I borrow a Goif? Gang Wars, but with magic? That sounds sweet. Probably enjoy that. Goodreads reviews, it looks like. I got a bunch of books recently, like 3 different art books, which I enjoy because I like to get high and read through art books. It's very fun for me. But one actual book. What's this? What's all this? Yeah, that's fine. And then I got a book on John Brown, which I'm only a chapter into, but I've been enjoying so far. You do that with monster manuals? Very cool. Dixit? Dixit's a great game. John Brown, the American Hero, exactly. The book in question, like, goes into detail about, like, his life and how, like, what he did led to the Civil War. So it gives him a ton of credit. Dixit works for all ages. It works for all ages, and it's just, like, a very well-constructed game, I think. Poetry for Neanderthals. I've never heard of that one. Oh, it's similar to Taboo. Sure. Oh, I recognize that art. That's made with by the Exploding Kittens guy. I used to read his webcomic. It's been a while, though. You used to work at a board game cafe, and Dixit was your go-to for groups who are new to games. Nice. Well, I was gonna play out the Voidwalker, but I think it's chill now, because holding up Tidebinder makes reanimating Atraxa a lot worse. Who are some of my favorite artists? I've got some Geiger art books that I like to go back to every once in a while. Two of the ones that I just got. Sorry, my brain's always like foggy with names. He had a secret lair. I know his Dark Ritual is like $140 goddamn dollars. Frank Frazetta. He had 2 Frazetta books. GG. Yeah, the painter, a little bit different than the philosopher. I did some projects on him when I was in college. He was really influenced by Picasso. When I was in France, I actually went to a joint museum between him and Picasso, and it was pretty great. They had a lot of like Picasso's sculptural pieces there, and like I had never studied those when I was in school. I had no idea that he'd done a bunch of sculptural stuff. There's a lot of like boards with a bunch of nails in it and stuff. Very aggressive. But yeah, I have one of his actual art books that was released like while he was still alive. They scooped off of eBay. It's kind of cool. Really large range, right, Salty Rutabaga? I feel like in school everyone's learning like about the same couple of works. Like you learn about Picasso's like blue period, and everyone is like probably familiar with his painting of the musicians. And then everyone's like, all right, next thing. Next thing to learn about. Yo, let me see them thoughts. Oh, they're responding. They got responses. What the fuck? Oh, my harvester bank. This is a sad story, but my drink is empty. Might need to take a break here. Pour myself a fresh one. You liked his style before he got it all the way into Cubism? So you like Picasso, but just his old stuff? You're a Picasso hipster? I'm so mad about this life death. I'm just the least happy right now. At least it nukes the Uro. It does not nuke the Uro. Because this doesn't prevent casting. An Uro is like a cast from the graveyard. I guess I'll fetch the Thin. Come on! Come on! Let me do the thing! This is a main deck Containment Priest, by the way, that somehow managed to fucking thread the needle between Thoughtseize and Harvester. Yeah, there's a cut down in here. There's another 1 mana removal spell, and then there's the 2 mana one, 2 or 4 mana one. It's like kind of like a split card. 4 mana to exile or 2 mana, and they get to draw a card. Either would work fine. A literal Lucifer. These are the sub things at 24 months there. The 2 years. Cube for the cube gods. I'm with you. Pizza Ship Girl here. Letting the people know. Yeah, I don't think we really had an out at this point, right? Like, if you find a thing to kill the Containment Priest, you can't death, because we're only in 3 life. Yeah, you got it. You win. You just run out Metamorphosis to be like a lifelink blocker. The Nadu kills you because it's got flying. Alright. No changes. Running it back. I'm actually going to go refill my beverage real quick while we're in sideboarding. I'll BRB. Hey, hey, hey! Alright. Let's fire this puppy up. Hey, Nogwig 2! Thanks for the substance. 69 months. Nice. So this drink. Well, I need a fucking land, huh? We gotta send this back. Away. Away, 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 away. I was explaining what my drink was. So the base is Tito's vodka, but I also have a rhubarb hops simple syrup that I've mixed it with. Yeah, fuck your birds. Actually, do I need to daze that Hex Drinker? Does that Hex Drinker just solo me? I think it does. I think I lose the race. If I'm just deathing a grief. Because I lose 4 life from casting the death. Hey, that's not bad. And rhubarb is so good. Just the best fucking song. And when we fall. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not kind. Fuck, hum. Well, they're gonna have 4 mana for the oddity next turn. Oh, they're just clamping. Huh. Well, they're gonna have 4 mana for that oddity next turn. It would have been so satisfying to him away their 2 cards here. I think we just get to lose to that Uro is what's gonna happen. Yeah, no, you know. Man, I love a good growly baseline. Just like fucking chugs in there. Alright, you in. With that fast Baragoi, if they had an answer and they like ripped it off the top after griefing them twice. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I'm very unlucky, and it's the only way I ever lose at Magic the Gathering. Might be a hardcast Metamorphosis game. Just like when running from a bear, it isn't about being luckier, just luckier than the other guy. Why would you ever run from a bear? So we could bin the Metamorphosis and exhume it, but then you're giving them the Elvish Mystic back. I don't think it's quite good enough. What's our record so far? We are 1-1. Bears are faster than you? Yeah, I mean, but that depends on starting distance, right, Emily? But yeah, generally you're best off either playing dead or making a lot of noise, depending on the situation. I watched the Werner Herzog Grizzly Man movie recently. That movie was awesome. Really fucked up, but awesome. Hey, Pasta T, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 77 months there. Appreciate you. Much love. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Hyperfencer, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 88 months there. Yeah, I grew up in an area where there were a lot of black bears, and we like learned about bear safety in school. It was wild to me that I found out that like other schools don't have that going on. Oh yeah. Why didn't they miscalc? Why didn't they miscalc my life death? Weird, huh? Driver's ed for you was big on moose. Oh yeah, our driver's ed had nothing to do with moose. They taught us about how to like handle deer, but like it's not a big deal, right? Just give them some space. Sometimes they'll get skittish. When I was a kid, we had a white-tailed deer like run fucking straight into the side of our school bus. Just plow into it. I saw a post on social media the other day. Like the DNR has a bit of its funding set aside to like promoting sustainable hunting practices and stuff. And so they'd made a social media post talking about how if you get involved with hunting, if you're like doing it safely and all that, that's like awesome for helping them manage the deer population. So that way the deer aren't eating everything and like killing all the biodiversity and self-famining themselves, you know? And somebody in the comments went off and they were like, how about you manage all the wolves? There's no deer to shoot because there's all these wolves. And I was just like, this has got to be the dumbest motherfucker in the universe. There's like a little over 1,000 wolves in Wisconsin. There's 1.6 million deer. And if wolves are doing well, it means there's fucking infinite deer. Is what it means. Anyway, I didn't reply to them. I wanted to use a bunch of swear words. I didn't do that. I'm older, I'm wiser. Wolves are sweet, man. Mule deer are smarter. That does not surprise me, Sinaz. That Deathrite Shaman is, Oh, I just got a Harvester at home. I want to play Voidwalker on 2, but I should probably just harvest it. Oh, man, we got this fucking frog. We have this frog here. I think that frog means we can Torsten next turn. No, not quite. A loose moose. We were just talking about moose. A loose moose has been summoned. They subscribed for 73 months in a row. Appreciate that. Fuck yeah. Flash is not in this deck now. One of the there's a reality TV show. I don't watch a ton of reality TV. Well, maybe that's not true anymore. Maybe I do watch a ton of reality TV now. It used to be that I did not watch reality TV at all. And then I really got hooked on this Alone show where they just like drop somebody off in the wilderness and they have to like survive with like a few items against the grizzlies and the elements and such. Anyway, one of the contestants in one of the seasons is always talking about moose, and he pronounces it like that. Hope I can get a moose. Call a moose into me. And it's like impossible not to think of it every time moose are brought up. Huge creatures, though. Really impressive stuff. If you ever get to see a moose in person. Give me that life death, huh? I don't want to exhume here. You're just giving them their Nadu back. You didn't watch reality TV until an ex got you into 90 Day Fiancé? So I've also been gotten into 90 Day Fiancé, B-Tids. That show is batshit. That show is crazy. That show is made by, like, the most evil people alive. If you want to feel better about your life decisions, about, like, who you are as a person, about your, like your fucking communication skills and your relationships, if you just want to feel, like, way better about yourself, 90 Day Fiancé is phenomenal. Holy shit, that show. Just a lot of people making, like, absolutely terrible decisions. Like, yeah, I've only known this person a week, and I'm going to travel across, like, multiple countries away. No, I don't know the language or anything. You hunted deer a lot growing up? Yeah, I did a little bit. We never got a deer. My mom got a few with her Volvo, and every time she'd hit a deer, we would get it tagged and fucking butcher it. There's a lot of meat there, just leave lying on the ground. So I learned how to process a deer when I was pretty young. And then I did a lot of grouse hunting, because there was a while where I was, like, only eating free-range meat. And there were a ton of grouse on our property. Every once in a while, I'll see people, like, saying, like, the grouse are, like, tricky to hunt or something, and I'm like, not when I did it. How'd the Super RCQ end the other day? Lost in the top 8. Yeah. What am I doing here? You can play the Baragoi, but they've got, like, plenty of chumpers for it. I'm just gonna grief. Moose are fucking enormous, Muppet Pastor. You're not wrong. Oh, that's a good-ass grief right there. It's a little bird. A grouse? They are, yeah, they're small. So they have a land, so we can exile, I don't know. Grouse like quail. Quail's a slightly different bird, but similar. So much grouse death on alone. There's a lot, yeah. In one season, this Canadian dude, he's like, so there's a season of Alone where this guy doesn't show up with like a bow and arrow or anything, and he's like, I'm gonna go hunt some grouse now in the way that that I grew up doing it. And you're watching it and you're like, what the fuck is he gonna do? And he just gets like a long stick, and he just puts a little hoop on the end of it, and he just like walks around with his long stick, and he puts it over the top of the bird, and the bird can't like fly up because it'll like fly into the stick, right? And then he just like fucking until he's got the hoop around its neck, and that's just like how he catches grouse. And he gets like a bunch of them. Like it wasn't a fluke or anything. He's just like, yep, this is how I go grouse hunting. Just like fucking, and it just makes all these like crazy good hunters on the show that like strike out look like really embarrassing by comparison. Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you put the hoop on the end of the stick and go catch the bird? It's right there. Grouse are not smart animals. He's from Labrador. Some of your family actually know him. Oh, wild. Yeah, only one contestant from Alone is somebody that I actually knew. There's an older lady from northern Wisconsin who like grew up. I don't really want to daze. I don't want to lose a land drop just to make them tap a delighted halfling. That doesn't matter at all. Yeah, in one of the seasons, there's a lady from northern Wisconsin who runs a sustainable farm, middle of nowhere. And sometimes they would hold like music shows to help pay for anti-war demonstrations. And I actually went on some of those buses to protest the war in Iraq, the war in Afghanistan, and it was like due to their funding. Anyway, they were little. People had mixed feelings about that family at the college that I went to, because they would come to the college to like try and recruit people to help them in their farm over the summer. They're like, we'll give you free room and board. You'll learn about sustainable farming practices. It'll be like an internship. And then people go out to fucking work on this farm, and they're like, oh, this is just labor. That's that's all they're doing here. This is just straight up labor. But I saw a couple of cool shows out at their place. I was watching. Hell yeah, we just got the win there. I guess their fresh draw wasn't good enough. I was watching Freaks and Geeks the other night. Rewatching. My wife had not seen it. And there's